Hey guys, I am not going to be making anything on this today. Me and Shadow wanted to give y'all a little tour of my craft room and show you how it's all set up, just in case you're interested. So let's get to it.
Let's go. This is my craft room. This is Little Turtle. I haven't come up with a name for him. If anybody wants to comment and leave me suggestions for names for my little turtle, that would be great. If we start off on this side, I have a light. I have all of this cube storage space. I keep all my sewing stuff over here. I have books that I reference sometimes. I have my notebooks for drawing and coming up with ideas. I have my work bag that I drop off there, and then I have a bunch of fabric. And then at the end I have a fan because it gets hot in here, and my serger's on a table. And then when we come around, I have my great aunt's desk that my grandmother left me with my sewing machine on it and a nice comfy crisscross chair. And then I have a bunch of my daughter's artwork. And this is Gertrude. Everybody say hi to Gertrude. She's my model. And I covered up the closet doors with ivy because I think it just looks prettier behind Gertrude. And there's more fabric in there. I have another light because it does get dark in here in the mornings. And of course, I have my pegboard. My ironing board was sitting on this, but I decided that the small ironing board hanging on the back of the door that has the dress hanging up on it would be better. This cube shelf has all my other craft stuff. Painting, scrapbooking, embroidery, all that stuff. This bucket is my to-do bucket, things that I want to make. And then of course Shadow has his chair. And we have more fabric behind Shadow. This is what I refer to as my good fabric. It's all woven, or either it's knit lace. That baby doll down there and my toddler me suitcase. My grandmother made that doll for me, and she sits right there behind my suitcase as if I'm going to my grandmother's. And then of course I have my great grandmother's treadle sewing machine. It does still work. Maybe I'll use it in a later video. And of course we have a nice set of books and a knick-knack shelf. My cutting table, it is much bigger than it looks. This sleeve comes up, and I have a full 60 inches of workspace to play on. And then of course I have my scrap bucket. My laptop's thrown in there right now. But all in all, this is my craft room. And of course Barry, our Frenchie, has his own little bed because he can't get up in the chair. That is Shadow's sleep spot. This is where I sit and enjoy my coffee most mornings because the sun rises on the opposite side of the house, and the light coming in that window is just really nice and not so bright. In the evenings though, I do have to close the curtains because of the brightness of the sun. And of course I have records. Sometimes you hear them playing in the background, but YouTube has notified me that they're copyrighted and might not be a good idea to use them. So now that we've walked around and I've showed you the majority of my room, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. And I have my notes here because sometimes I forget. I want to upgrade this.
As you can see, it's kind of wobbly. I haven't figured out how I'm going to upgrade it, but for right now it works. I can let down both sides of the leaves and push it back up against my desk, and then I have room to do yoga or stretch or whatever I want to do while I'm in here hiding from all the people that live in this house. This is my quiet space. This is my happy place. This is where I come to regain my sanity when they're about to drive me crazy. All my scissors and rotary cutters are on my pegboard, so to make sure that I have everything I need whenever I go to start a new project, I take the list of things that are either on the pattern, or in the case of the Mood Society patterns, I get everything together and lay it out on my table, make sure I have my scissors, my pens, clips if I need them. I go ahead and I set up my sewing machine so that everything's done. And while I'm cutting the pattern and sewing, then I don't have to stop and go hunt for stuff. Theoretically, that works really well, but I have an ADHD brain and sometimes I forget things, so I'm constantly going around this table like I'm the sun and it's the center of the world. My sewing station, like I said, it was my great aunt's desk. It's very sturdy. It was built in the 20s, 30s, 40s, sometime around that time. It has plenty of storage in it. I keep things in my desk that would normally be on hooks or racks. I have extra thread in there. I have my seam ripper because the seam ripper goes everywhere I go, because we will always need a seam ripper. That's not my favorite thing to use, but I also have my little snips that I like, because sometimes it's just easier to get all those extra strings off while I'm sewing. The little things that go around your bobbins to keep the thread on, or the thread saver. I don't know what they're called, but you'll see them later on probably if you're lucky. I'm going to try to have everything set up, but you know, sometimes I do forget stuff and you may actually see them. Oh, my notes. Gotta love a rocket book. All my sewing fabric. I am the type of person that if I don't see it, I don't have it. And before Joann's made their final closings last year, I went in and I got all the fabric that I've been wanting for the longest time, because I knew I would probably never see it again. That's how I ended up with linens and plaids and all the pretty fabric, cotton gauze for summer. It's just, I'm scared to use it because it's pretty and I don't want to mess it up. But you know, if you don't use it, then it's going to go bad on the shelf, and I just got to find the right pattern for that fabric. When I see it, I will know. All my wovens are over there, and all my knits are behind me. I have crafting fabric and some other odd types of fabric in my closet. Oh, excuse me. I've already had my coffee this morning. I don't know why I'm yawning. I guess my favorite thing about this room, besides the fact that it's quiet, is my chair in the corner. I can come in here in the mornings before I go to work, and I can have some coffee and watch the sun come. Well, I can't watch the sun come up on that side, but I can watch as it gets lighter without being blinded by the sunrise. Shadow snuggles up with me. Sometimes at the end of when I get home from work, I do come in here and sit in that chair and either listen to some music, put my noise canceling headphones on, drown out people because I'm done peopling when I get home from work, and we just relax. We listen to music, we may listen to audiobooks, but that is my favorite corner. I mean, I do like the sewing machine, and I like where it's at because I get to look at my pretty fabric and the bookshelf. What else? Is there anything y'all would like to know? I'm always free to answer. Well, I'm not always free, but I can answer questions if you leave them in the comments. I do want to upgrade this table, like I already said. Maybe my sewing machine, but my sewing machine works so well. And then I have my late mother-in-law sewing machine, which is the same kind, which is a Kenmore. They don't make those no more. I think Janome bought them out years ago. Hers is a 60s, 70s model, and it is solid metal. That sucker is heavy, but it sews like a dream. This one, it's not metal. It just doesn't have the same feel, but it works good. I've made several things on this. My serger, I only use, that's why it's tucked in the corner. I mostly only use it to bind the edges of my woven fabrics. I have tried to use it with knits before, like sewing the knits with the serger, but I don't always have the best of luck with that because within a few months my seams start breaking and I don't know why. If you know why or have any suggestions as to how I could sew better with it, I can always swap it out with my sewing machine and back and forth, but for right now it's sitting in the corner. The equipment that I use, the two lights, I didn't buy them at the same time, so they're a little different. I do like the light that's behind my camera much better. It's all one panel. I got both lights off of Amazon. They were like $15, $20 a piece. I bought them at separate times. My tripods for my camera I've actually had for years. I had a previous Canon until I upgraded to a Canon R50, and that's what I use now. And yeah, I think that's about it. I don't have a lot of setup. This is my hobby, I guess, for now. I like sewing, but I also want to record what I'm sewing because maybe 50, 60 years down in the future, maybe one of my grandkids wants to watch Granny when she still had brown hair and lots of it. Well, that was short and sweet. Shadow wouldn't let me have my chair back, so he's sharing it with me for now. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all later, alligators. You're still here? Go get you some breakfast or a snack. After a while, crocodile.